and gentlemen, the Warbosses of the Apocalypse.
Alright.
We are hopefully live with our ramshackle internet connections.
Hey. Speak for yourself. I laid these cables myself. You know what I mean? I have you know we're done well.
Is that why you were late? You were laying a cable?
We'll stick to that excuse, yeah.
Well, speaking of late, better late than never. I'm back, people. I'm here. I know I've been away for quite some time. Guys have missed me. I've had messages from Dread, just I was going to say daily, but hourly. Just like, please, Steve-O, I miss you.
Save me from the rest of them.
He says, I don't know who to imitate. I tried imitating Dim, but I couldn't keep up.
I've been able to get a word in. It's been brilliant.
Well, so we are here today to talk about Ramshackle. But before we get into that, we should probably we're going to do some hobby. Hopefully, you guys at home will be hobbying along with us. Let us know in the comments what projects you're working on. I am going to be working on. I'll be honest with you. I'm here more for the stream, but I thought I should do some hobby while I'm here. So
why not? Yeah.
I thought I might do an unboxing of this fella and get him built.
What's that in?
Uftak Black Hawk.
Oh, Uftak Black Hawk.
Yeah. He's still sealed. I bought him. I got him quite early on. He's just sat in the box. So I thought, well, might as well get him built. So at least get started on it. So that's what I'm going to be working on. What else I've been working on, you can see behind me. I'm in a different location. I'm now downstairs. I think I've been downstairs for a while, but I'm on the other side of the room now. So I flipped it, and I've got these display cabinets and things behind me. So I've got all my books.
In paradise, eh?
You can see my army there on display with some lighting in there. That's the lighting that's built into it. Now I have to be careful. I can't leave that on for very long because it does get quite hot. But I am going to modify that and get some sort of strip lighting in there. That'll probably be a bit more suitable. But I do quite like the effect it gives. You can't really see it too well from it, but it gives
a desert sunset.
Yeah, desert sunset, which is perfect for my army.
I mean, it is difficult, but should I interrupt you if I see a little, bit of smoke bellowing behind you, or
Red, I will give you permission to talk over me if shit starts smoking behind me, mate.
I'll try. I can't promise. I'll try.
What about you, Dread? What are you going to be working on?
I'm finally working on stuff, or at least attempting to. Since last time, viewers, when I was on the last stream, I managed to get one coat of green on a jerry can, and I haven't done anything since. But today, I have got some green on a piece of cable. So already, I've done as well as it last time.
Productivity.
So I'm gonna keep pushing on, and hopefully, I'm working on various things, and I hadn't been in the mood to paint for a while, but I'm actually feeling it tonight. I'm actually just right. Okay, something's there. I'm gonna go with it. So, yeah, we're having a go.
Well, I've just been having a look at these glue tips from Green Stuff World for precise application of super glue. Ooh. And I got it all over both hands and on my lip. Oh. So, yeah, shite.
Precisely where you didn't want it.
That was the best review I've seen in a long time. That was astounding. They look like a pack of suppositories you got there. So it's lucky you didn't make that mistake, mate. Okay, now
hang on.
You'd have been right bunged up. Oh, yes, I remember.
Everything's an Orky bit.
Stay tuned, audience. Stay tuned.
Is that a nozzle from an annual?
It's from Germaloids.
Yeah. Germaloids, same thing.
Germaloids. It's just not as good a name as Anusol.
Are these various brands of suppository? Is this what I have to look forward
to? Yeah.
Well, I saw it and I went, I'm having that, and I stuck it in my pocket.
Preparation H.
It just looks like a nice little gun barrel or exhaust or something, you know. And I found it in my pocket.
Yeah.
I said, well, last year, blow that little trumpet. Why? Oh, you bastard.
So what are you going to be working on, Sid?
Well, I don't know. I'm trying to get something off my hands at the minute. I got me list on. I did start these grot tanks last week. I might do the rest of the crew because they've got the skin, and that's important because otherwise all the bits fall out. So I might try and do like the, pants and wrappings and hats and teeth and all that sort of stuff.
Grot tanks are quite on trend at the moment. They've certainly been appearing on our channel a lot lately.
Yeah, man.
I hope they are.
Dread and Dims.
A lot of people sort of lamented it. Yeah, keep going. Legends.
So, Scar, what are you working on, Chief?
I have a Crockett mech, which I will be painting and basing and doing up on my tournament colours.
Like Davy Crockett.
Yeah.
King of the Wild Frontier.
No idea who Davy Crockett is, but all right.
Don't know who Davy Crockett is.
The Americans will be seething.
No. It probably is named after Davy Crockett. They do tend to take the piss with some of the names, so I would not be surprised.
Was Davy Crockett at the Alamo? Or is he fictional? I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I'm not confident enough to say.
Is this like American folklore?
You know when you think you know, and I'm like, I'm doubting now.
You don't know who Davy Crockett is.
He's giving me shit for not knowing. It's like, well, who is he exactly? Well,
he wore a raccoon skin hat, I believe.
Yeah.
And he invented the Bowie knife.
He hunted and shit, and
not really.
He was a man's man.
Man's man.
Quick, Google, quick.
I don't know if he was real or not, but I certainly don't have a degree in him or anything.
We have Horace Lupercals in the stream. Rock Lobster. Chris Winans is here as well. He's working on repairs. Dropped a small tray of models at the ground one and the Orcs lost. Oh, so you're a man after Dread's heart, so are you? Often fights against gravity and often loses. Mind you, if Dim's around, Jesus Christ, fucking
with them fucking skimming stone fucking dice. What the fuck?
I still haven't repaired the flying stand off me Dev Cop the Bollocks.
You just look. You can just tip, and they just tip into the dice tray. You don't have to be like you're on the fucking roulette at Vegas.
Daddy needs a new pair of shoes.
Yeah. Papa Dim needs a new Grot Mega Tank. I mean, Dread, you were on the receiving end of one of his high velocity dice.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. My heavily modified. Yeah. Well, my heavily modified.
You never mentioned it.
Yeah. Minute I put a lot of work into. Fuckhead.
Well, we only got there before you did, mate, so I wouldn't feel too bad about it.
Yeah, that's very true.
It was inevitable at some point. It's owned by you. It will be broken.
Yeah.
More a question of how many pieces.
Yeah.
How many times I break something before I complete it is shocking in itself, and then I still manage to do it once it's complete, which I tend to trick myself into believing won't happen, but it does.
If it makes you feel any better, I did have a rare breakage the other day. This knob.
I feel wonderful about that.
In the move. His arms come off, but that's quite he's luckily he's not finished yet, so I just got to reglue it.
Steve breaking his knob cheers you up, Dread. I tell you,
I'm actually chuffed that you broke the knob.
Yeah. Well, the amount of kids I've got, it probably wouldn't do me any harm, to be honest.
Yeah,
Might be the lesser of two evils.
Bless. I thought you just tying knot me at that stage. It's like, that's the end deal. Good luck, mate.
Don't bloody tempt me. There's bloody snotlings running all over the fucking place here. Causing carnage they are, as I'm trying to sort the house and everything out.
Oh, is that why you're always beating the young fella?
Are we still talking about my knob?
Yeah. Damn you for bringing me through this world! Damn you!
Kinky fuck.
As you can tell, we label this video not suitable for kids.
Is that just when I'm on?
No, just in general. Just in general.
Yeah. Well, I haven't been here for a long time, but I have been watching.
You've been creeping, have you?
Yeah, I've been sort of curtain twitching, just, you know, just there, just poking my knob through the curtains. You know? No, I've been watching and I've been enjoying.
I wonder why he's not here, and he's too busy being the local neighbourhood weirdo. He's
guilty as charged.
Sunday night's just the best night for it.
It depends what size of the curtains he's on, really. Well, you're inside poking out or outside poking in.
Well, you just see me there. Steve-O, well, you've been at the window for a long fucking time, mate. Don't worry about it.
Neighbours looking down. Them mushrooms will never grow. They get far too much sunlight.
Steve-O, shouldn't you be doing a show with the lads? No, I'm busy. But you're just standing in the window. You're just standing in the window, though. Go away. I'm busy.
It's hot in here, all right? There's a nice breeze. Flapping about like a windsock.
I think this deserves to stay on target.
Stay on target.
And speaking of staying on target, let's talk about the subject of tonight's video, which is Ramshackle. Who would like to kick it off?
Well, it was a note that we had in the drive. Actually, it says, "Are Ork vehicles cobbled together?" ? And I thought, well, that is sort of a question to explore a bit further with a bit of planning and whatnot. It could be a great episode, but then we didn't get round to that. We just went, yeah, let's do that. So, Ramshackle. See, the thing is, as I was thinking to myself earlier on, is that Ork vehicles tend to, they can look ramshackle, but they don't have to look ramshackle. But they're not ever uniform, and they are built in such a way by the mechs that they go, you know, like I would imagine an Ork mech's logic is, right, it needs a worky bit, it needs a whirry bit, it needs to have a shooty bit, and he makes sure those key components are in, and everything else that straps it and holds it together is the bit that to everyone else they go, I don't know. I mean, that's not the only part, but one of the things that they go, I don't know how the fuck it even stays together or how it even fucking works. And that's kind of why they can get that ramshackle, what do you call it?
Ability?
Reputation. Reputation. But I also recognise that a lot of it obviously came about when there was the, what was it called? The raid on Castronovam Imperial Armour 8. At that time, when we got the new kill tanks and a few bits and bobs that we got with Forge World at the time, there was a real focus on the Ork stuff being on that world being quite ramshackly.
Yeah, wasn't it like a scrap planet or something?
Yeah, it was
like
a scrap world. That's why they were very scrap looking.
Yeah. So
and gorgeous looking.
Yeah, so
some of the most stunning miniatures.
Just because there was a focus down on that sort of area, just the same way as now with the squigs, there's a sort of focus down on that. It has this. This is why actually that I had the fear about the whole squig thing, because whenever they do this focus down on something, it makes people believe that that's what it is and that's the direction now, and that there isn't anything outside of that. And sometimes I worry that it's not just the hobbyists and the other players that actually get caught in that belief. It's that I worry that the GW staff get caught in that belief, and then that really does, worry me that we end up going down a one-track way or something, because orcs are very varied, and that's why I love them, And I really do love the ramshackle whole aesthetic. It's something I buy into with my own orcs. I love that. Mine is a scrap planet, or partially a scrap planet, and they do look very ramshackly in my stuff. So I do love that. But I wouldn't want to not also be able to believe that, particularly with, like, say, a Blood Axe contingent, that there wouldn't be some much more sort of not actually uniform, but more uniform and more militarized looking,
more an attempt at
Well, since you've wandered into the Blood Axe territory, that's mine. I would say that you could have uniform orc vehicles as well. It all depends on what you want. So you could have orc vehicles that are built by orc mechs, and I get that they could be sort of haphazard and ramshackle, and the ramshackle aesthetic has been along since before the Raid and Castoral Novum, the Imperial Armour 8. For instance, the truck kit's been out a while, and that's a very ramshackle sort of kit. If you look at the wheels, they're not all matching, they're mismatched. It's an aesthetic that sort of the orcs have been leaning into more and more over the years. But I would say that there's no issue with uniform vehicles either. You can have looted vehicles, which will be patched together and put back up. But also you have to take into account that orcs take over Forge World planets, enslave the local population to make them make vehicles, and pump them out. So they're all going to be uniform. And then any tribute that they get from Imperial planets as well, you're going to have them be uniform in appearance. Now, as the orcs go through it, they'll probably bodge it along and get it going. But I think it's not a case of it's all one way or the other, as you were saying, Dread, that you wouldn't like it to go. I don't think it is that way. I think there is room for a bit of everything. If you want to do a ramshackle army and everything sort of scrap heap and very Mad Max and, held together with bleeding duct tape, chewing gum and paper clips, that looks good. And if you want to do more sort of industrialized and uniform, there's also room in the lore for that as well. So it depends what you want to go with. What about you, Sid? What do you think?
I don't subscribe to ramshackle in any way, meaning poorly built. Like cobbled together with string and bit and wishes and stuff. It's more that each vehicle is created by a mech, so it's more like a bespoke artisan creation. It's a one-off. It's unique because he's built it or whatever he's got lying around at the time. Because when I build them, it's built out of whatever I've got lying around at the time. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I think if it was like shackled together, just out of good-looking wishes, basically, then it would be crap. Oh, we've had a bump and the doors fell off. That sort of carry on. And I don't like no, it doesn't matter though, because the power of imagination keeps it together and gives it a toughness of 12 and a 2-up save. It's all, they think it's indestructible, so it basically is. That's just a cop out. But I do like the uniqueness. You're right. There's nothing stopping you from having a little bit more uniformity, and there's uniformity in the paint schemes as well, I suppose, for certain clans and what have you, to a degree. But there's a lot of things like you take. I think the best example is the Battle Fortress. Nobody really sets out to build a Battle Fortress, do they?
No, it happens over time. Yeah.
Yeah, they build a truck, and the truck gets a bit bigger, and then it's essentially a battle wagon. They probably don't refer to it as, look, now it's a battle wagon, but it gets to that sort of scale, and then by adding and adding and adding, it ends up like a battle fortress. It just gets there. So if they take over a Forge World or something, and the local populace still churning out Avnar, them Lehman Rust tanks or something, and they get a couple of dozen of those, they probably all look identical. But over the weeks, months, years, they won't look identical anymore. they'll be modified, they'll be repaired, they'll be worked on until they're all completely different.
Yeah,
and I like that. I do like that. I'm not keen on having identical vehicles in me war, which is a bit upsetting with the buggies. The only thing I like the buggy models, but if you wanted to run multiples of them, which fair play, do it. Having all the same models, not something that I'm particularly fond of, because it looks like if you've got 3 shock jump dragsters, it looks like you've got 3 fucking shock jump dragsters are all identical. So I'll have one, but then I'll want to make something that counts as a shock jump dragster.
I mean, even the driver and the gunner and everything on said shock jump dragster are exactly the same as well, which really breaks the immersion.
The exact same way, yeah.
Yeah, if you've got the, I mean, you can even get that's even with like Imperial stuff. I mean, if I did have a guard army, and I don't, you have a squad of 3 Lehman Russ tanks or whatever, all together, all looking the same, maybe different weapons on it, but you wouldn't want the same commander sitting in the hatch giving it the same.
No, of course you wouldn't.
It would just look silly, unless you had something interesting in the air and they were all pointing at the same time. That's a natural reaction. But to last for a whole game, it's unrealistic. It's unfeasible.
Unless there was heavy cloning on that planet. in that regiment.
Somebody's playing Night Fever or Time Warp or something, and they're all doing a little dance. It's Saturday night. Did you do a run?
Synchronized dancing in the army, yeah, that'd be brilliant.
Actually, that sounds quite good. I might do that.
I'm a big fan of the Ramshackle, and I think I agree with everything everyone said thus far. I think it is in large part. I see it as like the generic orcs, like the rule, but rules for orcs are there to be broken, and limits are pushed. And we've discussed it before with like law in armies and things, and that there's points of it you can push it and break it, and you can make something interesting about your particular faction or your particular tribe or clan or whatever. You can make something within that is a little bit out of the ordinary and a little bit goes against the grain of what a typical orcs would do. Like mine, for example, very much they don't trust orcs from other clans, so they will work with them and ally with them occasionally for mutual gain and stuff, but they don't like to hang around with them too much, so they don't really get swept up into a larger war of other, and that's, for orcs, is quite unusual and not typical. But it doesn't mean I'm doing it wrong. It just means I've made like an interesting quirk for my army that sort of, gives a law reason. So I think you could have orcs that, they have factories and things with lots of human slaves quite often, toiling away, building machinery and that, and human, I don't see any Warboss not saying, what a mech's made and being like, yeah, build me another 100 of them. So I do think it would happen, and it could happen, and things could be more uniform.
On the pain of death, I'm sure they can make duplicates.
Yeah, but I think orcs' enthusiasm. They're like an enthusiastic sort of DIY hobbyist at home, You haven't quite got the right tools, you haven't quite got the know-how, but you've watched a 10-minute YouTube video and you've borrowed the shit drill from next door or whatever, and you're going to give it a go, and it doesn't quite work out exactly like, that shows on the picture or whatever, but it's functional. You've got it up. It's slightly wonky. The spirit level the bubble doesn't quite sit in the middle, but it'll do. I think orcs are that. They're that enthusiastic, and they were just.
This is your wonky TV again, isn't it?
yeah. Now my TV's fucking faultless, but just completely by fluke. I don't know how I did it because it's never worked before. The ones upstairs are just ever so slightly at an angle.
If any one of us went up the garden shed and started trying to make a flamethrower, or something like that, like
I've done it with a can of links and a lighter.
Yeah. Well, you make something and then you go, all right, that's cool. I'm making another one. You make another one. You just slightly. I mean, that's exactly how it would end up. being.
Yeah, we've
exactly
all done
like
something.
Yeah,
I
to an
know
Orc's mind, they're going to improve on it every time, aren't they? Oh, this time I'm going to add a bigger engine, or I'm going to add spikier wheels, or I'm going to bolt another gun onto
the
this.
guy I was making out of old lighters. He was making these really cool spaceships. So I don't know what game it was for, but out of lighters, and also all sorts of weird, really cool stuff out of lighters. But basically, he's taking lighters, and every time he was pushing the boat out that little bit further, just like, oh, that is deadly. Oh, that is really cool. It's like, wow, what's he going to come up with next?
Well, it's not just always making it better either, because we've all done it. I know I've done it where I've made something or painted something or drawn something or done something and then went, that's really good. That's come out really, really well. I'm going to do it again. And I haven't got there. And I'm like, how did I do that before? How's that so much better? And yet this isn't.
So you've cooked a meal one night and you've created like, oh, I throw in a bit of this and I'm throwing a bit of that, and you make something and the whole family's like, oh, this is delicious, this is banging, oh, I gotta make this again, and you go to make it again, it just doesn't taste quite right last time. It's just not. You
stumble on the Colonel's secret recipe or something like that.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah. Damn, if I can't remember his 11 herbs and spices.
Airbrushing like that, you're like, yeah, I've graduated. And you go back and do it again. You go, fucking hell, why can't I do anything? Yeah.
I get it with highlighting orc skin a lot of the time. Sometimes I get them like, oh, spot on. Next time I do it, I'm like, I look at it, oh, I've ballsed that up. I haven't got it in the right areas. I say it doesn't look as good. How did I get it like that last time? But the slight differences in like the moisture on your brush or whatever it is that doesn't quite give you that same finish. But yeah, I think I think a lot of it ramshackle wise would be like, say, vehicles get damaged, they get taken out, they get looted, they get fucking swapped between boys and tribes and taken over and fucking patched back up again. And so yeah, I think even stuff that does start out the same or moderately the same, it just naturally evolve and things, the doors get blown off, they bolt something else on there, the hatch from a rhino gets bolted on there or whatever, and I think it is a cool look and it's a cool aspect of orcs, but I think like what you were sort of saying, Dread, is like it's not the set in stone way. If you want something a bit more uniform and a bit more clean, you can do that, and you can explain it through the lore of your faction or whatever. That there can be all kinds of reasons, why that is. Especially like saying from Blood Axes being a bit more militaristic and sort of taking ideas from the Umis and stuff, and seeing that all their tanks look the same and everything. And right.
Do you guys think that the fact that they've lent into the sort of ramshackle stuff because of the Castron Ovum, because of that, it might have lent to more other faction players thinking that orcs are stupid?
I don't think they've lent into it because of Imperial Armour 8. I think it was established before that.
I was going to say that as well. I think they've always been that, haven't they?
Yeah, it's
always. Even since like Rogue Trader, when they were like carrying bolters and stuff, they were still very, ragged. Even the squads now are very ragtag and mixed and stuff. When it wasn't uniform like the Space Marines.
It's always been sort of artisanal in design. Where it's like if you look at any of the cars from back in like the 1920s and 30s that were built for land speed records or whatever, they were all budged together in someone's shed, some rich eccentric, but they're all masterpieces, but they're all one-offs, you know what I mean, where like the screws weren't standardized, or there wasn't just, a spare turbocharger to plug in off of the shelf. They had to come up with something themselves, type stuff. I think Sid hit the nail on the head, where it's all bespoke and, artisan, you know what I mean? All the mechs are Picasso's in their own regard. It's like, see that screw? It's not quite. Give it a nail. Now. There you go. Job's a good one. Job's a good one in Orky language is, that'll do.
Yeah.
That'll do. You know what I mean? That's grand. Ah, she's grand.
And mechs are passionate, aren't they, and about what they do and stuff. And I think they get excited. It's their calling, isn't it? It's their nature. It's literally from birth they were destined to be a mech boy. You know, it's just genetically it's within them. And I think they just have this lust and this enthusiasm to build bigger and better and crazier and.
Well, yeah, it's keeping up with the Joneses. You know, Buzzgob and his mates have a bigger battle wagon than us. Can't be having that. Get me 6 more axles.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm thinking the enthusiasm of Doc from Back to the Future.
Yeah. 21,000 gigawatts. I do love the ramshackle aesthetic, though, and I think it's what draws so many people into Orcs. The inspiration of sort of that Mad Max post-apocalyptic kind of vibe and look to the Orcs is hugely appealing, and I think the vast majority of Orc players are drawn in by that and like that aspect of Orcs. I think it's quite rare to meet an Orc player who likes things a lot more uniform and a lot more sort of clean cut. And I say it as someone who's got quite a bit of uniformity in mind. This is certainly when it comes to like the color scheme and stuff, you know, and even like the third party bits that I select. Very choosy with third party bits. They've got to sort of match the aesthetic and sort of tie in with the GW look of Orcs. But there's a lot of randomness in that with the color scheme and that. Yeah, it's all black and yellow, but it's in different quantities and in different positions and stuff. So although it's uniform, it's also sort of ramshackle in its look. That they've got the idea. This is our uniform. These are our colors, but it's all in random hodgepodge ways. You know, as long as they got some black and they got some yellow, they're good. They're in. But yeah, the ramshackle is it's just such a key part of Orcs, isn't it? That I mean, does anyone in the comment section? I see there's a few of you in the comments. Do any of you go against that grain? I doubt. I'd be very surprised if any of you do. Actually, I think everyone's down for the ramshackle.
Sci-Fi is saying, what STC template would you like to see Orky weaponized? I'd like to see combine harvester or a snowblower. Beeson is saying that's here you get diggers, custom combos. Keat is saying, hey bosses, what's the crack? So is saying, so if jobs are good means that'll do. What's Orky for good enough? I don't know. What would be Orky for good enough?
Sog it.
Sog it. Yeah.
Sog it.
The Essex is in the chat as well.
Yeah, hello, mate.
He's pulling a Steve-O.
Yeah.
It's like, I won't be on the stream, but I'll be here for moral support. It'll be grand.
I like that they've got the ramshackle rule in the game. That's kind of over the recent editions, a lot of the vehicles have benefited from that. They used to have the what's the rule now? God, I can't keep up.
It's everyone's got a different rule, isn't it?
Yeah, it was before when it like the ramshackle basically gave you like a 6+ arm, feel no pain or invan save or something, didn't it? And
there's
sort of show that the vehicle's been hit, but you haven't hit like an important part. You know, bits are falling off it and that, but.
I miss the old days of ramshackle where you'd roll on a chair and see what happened to it.
The battle wagon's got it knocks a point of AP off incoming attacks, and that's got ramshackle but rugged.
Oh yeah,
which is nice. But the same -1 AP is on the Grot Mega Tank. And
Sid's got the same special rule, ramshackle but rugged.
Yeah. But the Grot Mega Tanks is called bizarrely resilient. I like that as well. It's just it's quite tough, that is.
And what does that do?
Shed on tracks. It's the same as the ramshackle.
Oh right.
Takes 1 AP off. I like the fact they've got different names.
Yeah,
I know it
they
gets
should
away from the
relate
universal
back
special
to a
rule thing.
universal. Yeah, they should relate back to a universal special rule that everyone knows the name of, though.
Yeah, I know, but it gives it a bit more character. If you had Ramshackle but rugged on a grot tank, it's not as good as bizarrely resilient.
It gives them the freedom to change the rule for just the one thing as well, rather than across the whole line, you know.
I don't know. I think Dread's right on that one. I think they're better off with. Well, it's quaint that you can have boutique rules for each individual unit. I think a gaming system is better off having standardized universal special rules, because you can
I
say
think that boils down to what you want.
yeah, but it's easier in regards to gameplay, because if you turn around and say to me,
Oh yeah,
he's got feel no pain, and we all know, like, in this edition, that feel no pain's like a 4+ save or fucking whatever, you know what I mean? As opposed to this guy has this specific feel no pain, or this thing, or this save that's
well,
feel no pain.
they have still got that. They have still got the different feel no pains, but now it is just called feel no pain. It's not called disgustingly resilient or
various names,
tough hide or whatever. It's just I've got a 4+ feel no pain, or I've got a 5+ feel no pain, and everyone knows what that means. They've hit the sweet spot with that now, but yeah, they should bring it into other aspects, not just weapons, which because it works now. We know what sustained hits is now. We know what the things are. So we're all starting to 10th been out for a while now, and it's brought back that thing. But yeah, it would be nice if in the following edition, if they expanded that further into other rules as well, not just weaponry. Because it does work. It does work. It's a lot easier for everyone to
It is
grasp.
a lot easier. But with a couple of them having which are more fluffy as opposed, like, even with just a fluffy name, I like that. I've looked at some of the Age of Sigmar data cards or
War Scrolls,
and they've got like a little blurb on it, like with pounding fists and thundering feet, the mighty blah blah whatever.
Yeah, I like a bit of that.
I like that.
Yeah,
whereas.
Yeah, but so if the universal special rule, for example, scope for weapons, then you can have your targeting squig, and it'll tell you all the stuff about targeting squig and how it works and blah blah blah. But it just has the keyword scope. And so if someone says to you, "Oh, so what's that?" You say, "Oh, he's got a targeting squig," and they go, "What's that?" And you go, "It's scope." Oh, okay, cool. You know, that's how they're so useful. If everyone knows what a few key ones are, like assassin. He's got assassin. All right, cool.
So it's not changing the name of the rule; it's just sticking a keyword in it.
Yeah. So you have the keyword, and everyone knows what the keyword means for the universal rule.
Fair enough.
And then you can have your own variant of it. It just has to have that sort of thing that you know. If someone goes, so what is the fang doozle boozle 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 wizzer 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 wozer? You can say, well, it's actually a teleport device.
Can you spell that?
You've definitely been getting some GW leaked secrets here, haven't you?
I know, yeah. You wait for it; it's coming next year.
Speaking of coming, the Battletech Mixed Kickstarter stuff is needing ships. Hey, coming soon.
Speaking of coming, when the new Battletech news come out, Scar was.
Hey, have the L, can't go wrong.
Yeah, he was waving that fucker out the curtains.
From the inside or from the out, though, you know what I mean?
What is it with you and the nakedness and the curtains? You can't leave it alone, can you? Definitely. We touched on something.
Leave my curtains alone, all right? Leave them alone. Been through a lot, these boys. I tell you.
Jesus.
Well, I haven't got very far with this build. I'm just slowly carving mold.
I've currently primed 2 mechs and I'm on to number 3. I am painting them up for a campaign that we're going to start playing soon in the local gaming group that we have. We're going to be playing through one of the campaign books, which is kind of like a historical sort of book. It's a source book. It'd be like trying to fight the Siege of Terra. You know what I mean? And they'll give you like specific units that fought in the engagement, and you know what the unit composition would be sort of. So that's what I'm painting up. Some Clan Jade Falcons for the Battle of Tukiad.
Cool.
Let me go crack.
Gaming, I've not done a lot of, well, any of at all. I've been very absent from the channel, as you know, and my own channel. But I'm going to address that soon, guys. I've just been busy setting things up. But I am planning to get a game in against Mitch again soon, against his Tau. Because he's got a new codex now, and he's got the new box of Kroot stuff. So he's got all the rampagers and all that stuff now. He hasn't built any of it yet, but yeah, it'll be interesting to see how the Tau play now. I always quite enjoy playing against Tau. I think me and Dread have been in talks about doing another game soon as well.
Yeah,
you can get down here.
It's been the last one. We'll be right on.
And then, of course, Dread, we are both going to Nick's annual invitational, aren't we? Your first one,
Dominion War, yeah.
Yeah, Dominion War 2024. I've been to 2 of them now. I missed last year's.
It's a team up thing as well, so we might end up in the same team together.
Oh, if that happens, we are screwed, mate, and you know it. We will never be able to agree on tactics. or anything.
There's you, me, and Rich, Captain Morgan, Ork player. So it would be good to be, with another Ork player. But then, if not, what other army, if it wasn't an Ork player, would you want to be teamed up with?
I think it's good to. Well, I mean, if you're speaking to me personally on the day, I don't really care as long as the person I'm paired up with is a laugh and playing in the right spirit, and that's all that really matters. But if just purely in game terms, I guess a force that would be the opposite of mine to complement it. So if I've built a very sort of shooty list and it's very much that respect, someone else to sort of make up for the lack of combat capabilities in my army, or if you're quite hoardy, someone with a lot of like heavy mechanized list to sort of give you some heavy hard hitter units that could absorb a bit of damage and take the focus off yours. Yeah. I think lists that complemented contrast can work quite well. Otherwise, if you're both very similar, yeah, it will make what you do very good, but then you'll also leave a gaping weak point in your army. So,
yeah, I don't know if it says something about my personality or what, but I can look at, or I can find the weak points. Like I can think of what would be good to like team up with you, but I can't really think like what my weaknesses are and what would be good to team up with me because
Dread can't think what his weaknesses are. Well, sit back, Dread, as the 3 of us and everyone in the comments regales you with your many weaknesses. Let us know in the comments, people.
Hold on, where's the list?
I suppose what I need is someone that's got a lot of chaff units because mine's pretty elite, isn't
it? you need to team up with your old pal Dim and his grot army. That would give you plenty of bodies on the floor.
Yeah, What I need is the perfect teammate would be someone with plenty of targets.
The perfect teammate for you, Dread, would be someone with plenty of patience.
You take the fire, I'll charge in and have the fun, yeah? All right, cool.
The thing is, Dread, you're the targets. You're the targets. If you rock up with like loads of boys and stuff like that, and you're sitting there with your kill tank or your battle wagons or whatever, they're the targets.
Yeah.
I had that happen in a multiplayer game years ago. I was playing with a...
I can't afford to roll a kill tank. It's a 1,000-point limit.
I was playing with a mate years ago on a doubles game, and it was the same thing. He had Chaos, and he had like his Land Raider with his Terminators and shit like that, and I had just like hordes and hordes of boys, and we were playing against Necrons and Tau, I think, and they absolutely piled in the fire against them and wiped them out. And he was rather upset about it, but I was like, it's okay, it's grand. I'm within charge distance. They've not shot at me. It's game over for them, mate. You know what I mean? Back when you could have mobs of 30 boys and they packed with a punch. And lo and behold, that's what happened. They shot at the Land Raider and the hardcore Terminators, and the hordes of boys just flowed over the ramparts and all the way through to the other end of the board. It was great.
distraction Carnifex, isn't it?
Yeah, that's it.
Mm-hmm.
Like, do you know what, mate? Don't worry about it. You've been tabled in turn 2. Leave it to Uncle Scar to finish up.
Yeah.
Now,
No, don't worry about it, mate.
There's the money
I've
for
got
the
this.
gang,
Don't worry. You go cry in the corner now, but watch. We'll get revenge. Nah, it can be fun, like, especially if you're playing with different armies to your own. You know, I don't. Maybe that's just unique because I only collect orcs, but it gives you an opportunity to see what the other armies play like as well. If you're playing doubles.
Yeah, it's gonna be good fun because there's some cool people going. We've got the Kaiser modelling from Advantage.
Oh,
He's
there you
going
go.
to be
No,
there.
sweet, cool.
Yeah, so he was there last year when I wasn't. So it would be cool to team up with like the Kaiser because I've never got to or play against him just to be on the same table because we've he's been on this show, I've been on his, and he's a cool guy. So that'd be cool to roll some dice with him. I can't remember who else is going. There's quite a few people this year who I know from seeing them on Nick's last year's one, but I've not met them or have been aware of their channel before. There's quite a few sort of new channels that have sprung up. So yeah, it'll be very interesting and it'll be fun. I enjoy the doubles format. I enjoy that sort of having to be cooperative with your teammate and kind of come up with a strategy together and work together and support each other, and it opens up a new aspect to the game. It'd be quite fun. And well, we've been in talks, haven't we, about one year at a future Warboss meetup doing a doubles thing. Would be
another league? Not a chance. Not a chance in another league.
Baby, you
Get stuffed.
No, no. Listen, it's 3 games, doubles. Think about it. When you think about the logistics of it, far more easy to do.
You're all right.
Far more easy to do.
You're all right, bud.
He's 1 round.
Yeah, that's it. It's like just all stone boys. Turn 1, dead. Grand, right? Who's for tea?
Yeah, you think with the 6 of us, it is literally just 2 games.
It would be just like 3 teams essentially, so it would just be
Everyone would just play 2 games, wouldn't they? It'd be, you got 4 people playing, 1 person filming, and 1 person taking pictures.
Oh, I see how you've thought about the logistics of recording reports this time around.
Yeah, big time.
It's like, oh, it was great playing the games, but we didn't get much footage. It's like, yeah, because we were fucking playing the games for bleeding 3 hours, like. Quickly, mind you, quickly. We weren't dilly-dallying.
No.
We weren't dawdling.
No. 40k just takes forever to play now. Holy Jesus. So hold on, how long does 2,000 points take to play? If we were playing 1k and smashing them out, like...
For us, a long time.
What do you mean for us? How dare you say?
It doesn't sort of extrapolate, how you'd think. It's not like a 1,000 point game takes 3 hours, so 2,000 takes 6. Because when you're getting into it, you've got more to destroy and more to get destroyed. So it takes a little bit longer, because your movement phases are a bit longer and that. And there is more to do shooting and what have you to start with. But I don't think they take that much longer, to be fair.
I think it depends largely. It depends largely on your armies as well. A lot of I've played against people where like every squad, everything is unique and different, and got each squad's got every type of different special weapon going and things, and it just slows the game right down. And obviously your grasp on the rules and how much you remember it. If you play regularly, then you get quicker, don't you? But I speak for myself that I'm quite a slow player these days because I'm always having to look up rules and things and double check things that I'm unsure of. You always feel like you're playing a rule and you think you're getting it right, and then oh no, that was 8th edition, wasn't it? Shit, no, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
That hasn't been the rule for like 4 years now. Shit. Whoops.
4 years, Jesus, that's like 2 editions.
Yeah, exactly. Literally.
Yeah, it is 2 years apart now.
Is everyone in the comments, have you been watching the bat reps of the Warboss League?
He's bleeding better.
Half of them, man.
I certainly have. Those comment sections certainly been alive. You've all been interacting with the votes anyway, giving us weekly. I know. I think it's Disson, isn't it, who's been updating us with his score. He's only got one wrong thus far.
Oh, what one did he get wrong?
I don't remember. Disson, if you're in the comments, let us know which bat rep you got wrong.
He must have been one of the recent ones because he had them all. That must be the last one.
And is there anyone amongst you who's got every single one correct thus far? I know you're gonna have a full house, 15 for 15.
Who we got next? We got me and Scar, haven't we?
Yeah.
Next, yes, we've got the last game of round 3. You and Scar. Yeah. And then after that, we move on to round 4.
Fun and games.
See, for us, this was all in the past. You see, these are.
Yeah, but it's been 2 months now, so I'm like, what happened?
Who won that game again?
It's like I've been to an event and a BattleTech tournament since, so I'm like, I'm trying to remember who won that one.
Yeah,
but it's fun getting to see the other games because obviously at the time we couldn't. So
yeah, definitely, we were all on the day hearing the results after the games and around the dinner table discussing who had won what and who had done what But we were obviously in separate rooms doing our games, so we weren't aware of exactly.
I heard what happened in yours. Don't worry.
Well, likewise, the rest of us would finish our game. We'd come back and catch fucking your turn 1.
That was all good true.
What round did you two play each other again? Because I remember walking in on that game. That was hilarious.
Round 4. Round 4 was me and Drew.
That's one to keep an eye out on.
Yeah, stay tuned, people.
Oh,
I just remember Essex sitting there going, "Why is Mummy and Daddy fighting?"
It was explosive.
Take the poor lad of ice cream just to calm him down.
Yeah, well, look, as the leader of Team South, if his lieutenants are getting, showing insubordination and fighting, it's his lack of leadership in it of Team South.
Yeah.
Our grand overlord.
Yeah, so definitely watch out for that one, guys. It was explosive.
Table
it was a good
game. Good.
Have you watched it back, Steve? Because you recorded that one, didn't you?
Not yet, mate. I'm waiting till I need to do the edit for it. So, yeah. But
I'm waiting until I really, really like you, so it doesn't.
I'm looking. I'm curious as to what footage I've got because I've got a lot of footage. There.
Don't watch it when you're in a bad mood with me, will you?
No. Well, that could be challenging in itself.
You'll have to time that one right, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. This old Uftak, he's quite a cool model actually. I've got to say, he goes together, dry fitting the parts together, and they just lock in together quite nicely. Obviously, incredibly monopose, but I'm seeing certain bits of potential that you could very easily kit bash and chop things up and adapt. I don't know if I'm going to just build him standard or tinker with him a bit. I'm not sure because he's a great basis for specifically a bad moon boss or a freebooter actually.
I still don't get that they made him limited edition, especially for like a plastic kit. I find that really odd.
Yeah, it's strange that they didn't just go the full hog, and because we are quite short on characters now. I know we've had a couple of new ones. We had Mozrog, haven't we? We've had Zodgrod back, which is cool and welcome. But having him as an alternative, Warboss, we don't have many boss characters anymore, do we?
We've got a few new ones, but then we had a bit of a cull as well, didn't we?
Mm.
And by cull, I mean move to legends.
Yeah, because we don't have a generic sort of Warboss character. We've got like a Storm Boy boss. Well, no, we don't. He's a legend as well. Yeah, no, he's gone as well. We've literally just got Gazzy, who he's not. You can't class him as a generic warboss like the size of a fucking 2-story building. But yeah, it was a missed opportunity really, because he would be a cool option to have. But I mean, we can, because he's got the Legends rules and stuff. So for us, but yeah, I don't know. I do like the miniature. I do like him. I think he's pretty cool. Yeah, I don't know. Don't know whether to make him standard or tinker with him a bit.
There was a wee bit of size creep there, huh? Just a tad. Just a little.
Who's that? What, Gazzy?
Yeah. It's like twice the height and 3 times the bleeding volume, like fucking huge.
Serious head shrinkage though.
Yeah, they shrunk his head as well, but it looks different. That's my head canon, is like that they've actually put the wrong head on his body.
Yeah.
It's not the
I mean, that's this guy, isn't it? I like that. Although this guy does have a small pea head, there is actually law reasons for that, isn't there? And you can see on the miniature, like the stitching where this head was stitched on, because he is actually the. And Sid, you've read the novels. It's the head of a boy, isn't it?
He was a Bad Moon boy.
Yeah.
Who woke up after a battle and his head had been grafted to a knob body in the first one.
Which is pretty cool.
And then the second one, not really spoilers, so, Coolie Jets. Yeah, he spent a lot of time fighting and winning. And then he got hit with some Drakari syringes on whatever's used them and they stabbed him. And it's basically, it caused the target's muscles to swell and burst out of the skin to kill him. And he got hit with them, and there was a pain boy, I can't remember his name in the book, who was nearby and gave him basically an antidote. Or I say antidote, probably a little bit fancy, but give him a shot of something which stopped it. But at that point, he'd already sort of like partially started swelling, so he was even bigger again. So basically, he's fucking massive.
Dark Elder just giving him like a shot of adrenaline, basically. Just pumped him up. Steroids.
Yeah. They chuck him in a fighting pit and stuff like that.
Essex was asking, New Gaz is actually carrying a massive suit of armour. Maybe. Might be the case.
I think some people have pretty much kit bashed that kind of thing out of him, haven't they?
Ah, yeah, because it's like it's bigger than it's bigger than a dread. Like.
Yeah, he's fucking huge.
Huge. Jesus. Don't know what they're feeding them, but boy, Jesus, he ate a lot of it.
Well, there's a lot of third-party sort of Warboss models which are a similar sort of size. I've got 3 big Warboss type models. Gazzy's one. There's the Artel Iron Boss.
Yeah, I've got that.
And there's the I forget. Oh, where was he from? Was it Hardcore who done like it looks a bit like the Hulkbuster armor?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that's a cool one.
I've got him painted up as a Bad Moon. He's my Bad Moon boss. What's he called again? Mork Zoggerberg. He's the wealthiest. He's the wealthiest of all the orcs, because he invented Rip Your Face Off book, where he tears your face, steals your identity by ripping your face off, and then sells it as snake bites to make socks or something. He's a dirty bastard, basically. Mork Zuckerberg.
40k lore at its finest. Love it.
Yeah, you can. It's a job.
And we've got new rules now since I've been away. 10th edition has been quite a lot of changes, isn't it?
Basically 10.5 now.
Yeah, I know a lot of the stratagems have changed and been nerfed or buffed or tweaked and things, and a lot. I'll be honest, audience, I've only have been given the information sort of third hand, I've not really had time to look.
It fundamentally changes the game, though. So if like movements change. Movements changed.
Movements changed.
Yeah.
In what respect?
Now you move in straight lines and pivots.
Oh yes, yeah. With like vehicles, isn't that?
I think it's all things. Can't go bendy. Fucking.
I wasn't sure. I felt like it was just vehicles.
You can't go bendy measuring stick anymore. Everything straight lines and pivots.
Yeah. I don't think we necessarily play by the rules anyway. Well, I already know we don't. We house rule so much.
I was thinking to myself, that doesn't really change anything in that regard for me, because it was usually after the first game I learned very quickly. Right, first turn charge, so just straight line, go straight at them. Just
you're not worried about any pivoting with your storm boys, are you?
Pivoting, all this flowery manoeuvring. Nah. Just fucking get them.
Anybody's going to tell me how to use a tape. Yes, Pet, that's
how far is it, Scar? It's 2 miles that way, as far as the storm boy flies, you know. So straight into a wall then. Right.
Straight over the wall. I need to your face. Boosh. So have you made a list for this doubles tournament? Have you sat down and talked yet, or what's the crack? Have you taken into account these rules changes then, or?
No. The only reason I'm aware of these rules changes was because in the group chat for upcoming Dominion War, the chat's been in there going on, and I've sort of dropped into it every now and again and seen what everyone's chatting about and talking about. So I picked up from there that things have changed, and I saw a couple of videos on YouTube, but I've not really sat and divulged the information. I just know that they're quite extensive changes to pick up on. So, and as usual, I think they're on like Warhammer Community, where you can just download the stuff and the PDFs, and obviously the Army Builder app will update automatically. Well, once you've updated it.
You need the cards, though.
So yeah, I just need to have a
need
peruse.
To find the mission cards. It's a new mission deck.
Pick up on the mission there. I'll just. I never really take into account much the mission at hand when I'm building a list. I just sort of build a list that I think will be.
That's the gist of what a few of the YouTubers' complaints are, is that you basically need. It's another thing that they're forcing you to need to buy. So instead of having less things to buy, we've now got an additional thing that we need to buy every time they bring one out, is one of these mission packs, because the old one's now redundant, and this is the one now, and you need it.
I mean, they're redundant to who though? Are they redundant to you and your mate playing in your house? Nah, it is. Fuck it. I did it last time with the chapter approved, or what was it they called, their mission packs? I just saw one earlier that I'm digging through sorting my stuff out, and I find all the useless shit that I've bought over the years that is just literally in print for 6 months or whatever. The little booklets that they brought out through 9th edition every like 6 months or year.
Was it?
It wasn't chapter. It was chapter with something. I can't see it from over here, but yeah, the all the updates and stuff, and you buy them and you use them like twice, and then they're gone, and then they're never raising in value or anything. That is just a useless bit of tat now that will never have any further value to anyone.
There'll be some reason why you can't use them anymore, or something, or that the game's evolved on in some way. They've found a way to make sure you have to get it, I'm sure.
Well, they think they have, but.
So what you're saying is, with these rules changes, like the rule book's no longer valid then, if there's changes have been massive.
Oh yeah, pretty much. Yeah, it's the same what they've done with the last editions. Basically, the rule book now will have little. Yeah, if you're playing off the rule book now, you're playing wrong.
So they're still selling it though, are they?
No, there's still people who buy a rule book at the start and then just play the rule book all the way through. And they don't change it. It's not wrong if they don't stick to the rule book, because that's you must.
Yeah, no. Let me clarify. When I said I was wrong, it was very much from that perspective of GW,
Yeah.
not my perspective. Like,
What?
certainly
What are you talking? People playing the games that they want to play. Down with this sort of thing, I tell you.
I still think I think I've only played a proper game of 10th once, really, and that was with Nick when we played one of the missions from the book. I don't.
Yeah.
Otherwise, and even the last time I played Nick, we didn't do that. And every other game I've had has been house rule in the mission. So, yeah, the mission deck thing doesn't really change anything for me. But like if they're better, if it's improved, then good. You know, hopefully the changes are.
It seems that Nick is starting to prefer those games anyway. You know.
So is he making his own mission pack for the event then? Do you know, or what's happening there?
No. I think as far as I'm concerned, we're as far as I'm aware, we're playing the new mission packs.
I thought he's got a fixed map, hasn't he? He's already picked a fixed map. I'm pretty sure.
Most likely. But you know, I think Nick, like a lot of hobbyists out there, just is yearning a little bit for more than just if you're just playing competitive things, because it goes down to, like you say, the way you set the table up. There's a tournament template of how you set up a perfectly balanced tournament board.
Tends to be mirrored, doesn't it?
Yeah, which is good. It's good to have balance, certainly, but once you've played 2 or 3 times on that, it gets incredibly bland after a while. And I think some of the tables, one of the biggest compliments we've had from our league bat reps is people complimenting the terrain and the boards that we played on, and some of them were a bit more balanced than others, and they weren't. You know, there was, as we played through the games on some of these maps, we could sort of start seeing the. I think the Badlands in particular seem to have a slight advantage on one side over the other, but they were each unique and each slightly different, and you know, some of them a bit more open, some a bit more condensed, and it made each game more interesting and not necessarily balanced. But balance isn't the be all and end all.
Yeah, I think the Badlands and the Scrap Heaps were both a little bit skewed one way or the other, depending on which side you was. I think probably the most balanced one was Clint's Mechtown one, because it was pretty, you know, in that tournament sort of way, it was pretty much mirrored.
I'm looking forward to seeing Nick's Essex's improved Mechtown, because he's got his new base for it now, hasn't he?
Oh yeah, with the flooring that he bought on that while we was out. So we went to what was that little village town that we went to after the meet? We had a breakfast together, and then we went and found a little
banging little calf.
Glossop.
Yeah, we had a really nice breakfast.
It was Glossop where we stayed, yeah.
Glossop, yeah, and there was a lovely little craft shop there, and Clint bought a bunch of corrugated card.
I think we all mostly bought something.
The wife in the craft shop, when you came in, I thought, I don't like this. What's going on? I heard southern tones. I thought, I don't like this.
And then we spent money, and she was like, "Yay!"
Yeah, she's pressing the little button under the desk. Think I can help you, gentlemen, with? Tap 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 tap.
Yeah, it's not the sort of town or village where.
Dread's leaning across the counter. All right, darling.
Into a craft shop.
Got any plastic cards, sweetheart? Yeah, that calf was banging. That was cheap as well. That was good feed. Can't remember the name of it now. We could advertise it. Send some custom their way.
It was nice.
Yeah. So if you're in Texas, you're looking for black pudding and bacon and Glossop.
Yeah, you can't go wrong.
Yeah.
It was good though. It was a good feed that I enjoyed. That.
Yeah, that set us up for the journey home. That did.
Yeah, decent feed.
No lambus bread for us.
That's just them Rice Krispie squares anyway.
Rice cakes. Elvin rice cakes.
Fucking hate rice cakes. And while I'm on it, paprika is not a fucking flavour. Right? It's best it's a colouring. What flavour is it? Paprika? Oh, fuck.
I like paprika.
No.
Just had it tonight on the chicken, actually. I covered all the chicken breast in it.
There's quite a difference between sweet and smoky as well. Paprika, you know, it makes a
it's sort of a mild
you get
sort
the
of
wrong one.
spice, isn't it? It's nice. Yeah.
I
It's
bought
not
some
quite
really,
chilly.
really smoky paprika one.
It's definitely not chilly.
No, but it's
pot,
like
a little metal pot, and you have to like put a spoon under the little metal lid and prise it up. And I put some of that in a chili con carne. It absolutely ruined it because it was so smoky. So,
It is literally called the Glossop Cafeteria.
Ah, there you go. There you go, people. The Glossop Cafeteria. If you ever find yourself in that area.
Nelly said the Glossop Calf.
Literally, yeah.
Yeah, you use coupon code Warboss Show for 10% off.
Yeah. Go in there, tell them the Warbosses has sent you. She'll look at you and go, who?
All them dodgy bastards that were in. Ah, yeah. All right.
Just say Dread and the Gang, and she'll know.
It was busy though as well, wasn't it? For like a weekday morning, and that was a
Yeah.
Friday.
It was just full of tradesmen and then us lot.
Always a good sign.
Yeah, it is a good sign. Yeah. Yeah, follow the high vis vests. They know where the good grub is. They know where you can get a bargain.
This is very true.
I've got quite a bit done already so far.
Well, I've not built anything, but I have, I believe. Nope, I haven't. I've even failed at that. I was going to say I've removed all the mold lines, but I've just seen some more.
You're telling lies, telling porky pies.
Yeah, well, better that I find it now than when I'm painting it, which is what usually happens. And I'm still going to find one when I'm painting it, because I always do.
Jesus.
I noticed that once I've taken photos or video, and I'm doing the editing on video.
Oh, like when you've 100% finished it, and then you see it.
And it's blown up like 9 times the size on a screen.
Yeah. Yeah, that can, when you're getting really extreme close up on your painted miniatures, that can really humble you, can't it? You're like, oh,
I just like
that looks a bit rough.
Guess who's going to spot that in the comments?
Yeah. Dread. What are you sipping there, Sid? What's your tipple tonight?
Well, I've had a little bit of white rum as a treat. And now I've got Tullibardine. I've not had it before.
A tin of sardines?
It's a single malt done in bourbon barrels.
Oh.
I need a single malt.
It is a Scotch. 43%. It's quite light in colour though. You'd think actually, if it wasn't for the writing, you'd think it could be a wine.
Yeah.
I think it could be a wine anyway. Looks darker on camera, to be fair, but it's quite nice. Very drinkable.
Are you sure someone else in the house hasn't been getting a bit and just topping it up? Sure, this was darker yesterday, and only half full. What's going on in the comments section? Essex boys, we were talking culinary stuff, so he's got involved. Smoked paprika for the win, says Essex boys.
Oh, you dirty bastard.
He said that in the craft shop, Dread offered to service her boiler. And re-tarmac her drive as well. Post-war clarity says, I don't even scrape the mold lines off of my ham. You don't know about Mexican paprika. No, I certainly don't. Anyway, enlighten us. What is Mexican paprika? I feel like it might be a drug reference. I'll just...
I don't think it is.
You racist.
I got some of that Mexican paprika, y'all. Hey, Holmes.
Eat some good shit.
Good thing we're not monetized because we'd be demonetized by now, boy. Jesus.
That's it. When post-war clarity there, I said he doesn't even scrape the mold lines off his ham. I've always, right, if I get a block of cheese out of the fridge and it's been there a while, and
I thought it was a euphemism.
bread for that matter.
Cut the outer surface off, didn't you? Just cut all the outer edges off, and then you've got a fresh bit of cheese, haven't you?
That's what I've always done. And likewise, if I've got a nice bit, not if it's been tarted like a sliced loaf or something, no. But if it was a nice bloomer or something like that, and oh, hang on a minute, spot of mold, I'll just nip it off. That'd be fine. But I found out recently that's surface mold, but the mold goes lower. It goes deeper into the bread.
Yeah, don't. If your bread started going, don't eat it.
Nah, fuck it.
This sounds like you've learned from bitter experience there, Dread.
Well, do you know what?
The one I never learned from, though, is the milk. I always go, it smells all, well, it's a bit, but I'm sure it's fine. Because I'm so desperate for a cup of tea all the time. I'm just like, yeah, do you know what? Yeah, I'm sure that's all right. But then, yeah.
And as soon as it hits the tea, it just boom.
Yeah,
lumps of stuff everywhere. It's like, for fuck's sake.
Oh, when you get the chalk milk, no, you can't drink that. Yeah.
It's when someone makes you a brew and you taste it, you're like, it's got a weird taste to it. So it's not right. Then you find out afterwards that the milk's fucking turned. You're like, oh no.
Yeah, I hate that. I get that a lot of times when I go around to a customer's house and you're like, they make you a cup of tea and you start drinking it, like you start putting a face.
I've had to start. I decline every time now. I just don't. I've not had a decent brew off any customer yet, not once. And I'm just like, oh, I'd always end up having to tip it into a bush or something.
There's a bloke at work. He'll make a cup of tea,
when they fucking turn
but he won't
around
let anybody else make a cuppa for him. He's like, do you want a cuppa, Johnny? And he's like, nah, you're all right.
Yeah.
And you haven't got one. He goes, I'll go and make one in a second. And I say, go on, just let's make you a cup of tea. He's like, nah, because his tea, it's just like, it's the tiniest splash of milk. He's got the tea bag and he wrings every last sort of like ounce out of it, but without squeezing the bag. That makes a bit of brew. It's proper builder's tea. And he says he likes the experience of making it.
I can respect that. I can respect that. I get
lately, that. Just lately, because I haven't been working for social housing and I haven't been working on building sites, and I've been advertising out there and getting just private customers mostly in my local area, which is, I mean, although I'm living in a camper van, I'm in a nice area. So as it goes, I've had a few cups of tea where I've sort of pulled that face and I thought, surely not, their milk can't be off. But they spot that face and they say, oh, I hope you don't mind, that's oat milk. So you get that off.
Dirty bastards, Jesus Christ. Yeah. Who gives us someone fucking oat milk in tea?
That happened a few times.
Filthy
soya milk and...
Well, it's bad enough at my mate's house who only has red milk. And he made me and now he knows if I go around there...
milk.
I'm going to start that out. I'm not gay.
Yeah, I mean, like slightly grey fucking jizz water, you know, just fucking utter filth. It's like...
Scientifically, tetty water.
Yeah.
The water that's left in the pan after you've boiled 80s.
Yeah. Or the milk from Satan's teat. It is absolutely, utterly rank.
If you want green milk, then just buy the blue milk and an extra bottle. So save a bottle after you've used it. Save one of the bottles. Then next time you get a bottle, pour half it into the other bottle, so you've got 2 bottles of half. Then fill them up with water. There you go. There's your semi-skimmed. Now, if you save another 2 bottles, so you've got 4 bottles, then you can go and buy your whole milk and turn it into skimmed milk because it's basically watered down like 4 times, isn't it? It's mental.
Tune in next week for some more consumer advice from Dreadwire Gaming.
Yeah, don't waste your money buying
Money
buying a
saving
red milk.
expert.
Make your own red milk.
Sounds like he's making his own wash plant for milk over there. Right, what you do is you need 4 bottles, right?
Next week,
kitty
tune in to hear Dread save you money on curry spices.
Take 2 bottles into the fridge. It's not just watered down milk, though.
Now, these spices are expensive, but if you do a 6-way split, it can be remarkably cost effective.
You just want the saffron. No. Mate, I don't even fucking eat paprika. I'm not going to have saffron. I'm going to put it on toast. Moldy toast.
Did you eat the curry?
We did enjoy the curry.
I don't remember chewing my way through a kilo of fucking saffron, though.
Hang on. I didn't even buy saffron for the curry. I brought saffron with me.
Mate, I've used more diesel on the way back just carrying those fucking spices. We had to load them on a fucking pallet.
I got the ones that were £1 from Sainsbury's, the little ones, the glass ones, and I got like maybe 8 or 10 of them. It's more than lens.
As you can tell, Dread is banned from the under shopping. You know what I mean? For future events.
Yeah, forevermore.
I'll tell you where the cost was.
Fucking babe.
Lamb.
Mate, day 2, I'm looking around the kitchen. I'm like, where's all the cakes and biscuits and shit? We got no snacks. Where's all the fucking grub?
You can't say it wasn't the spices, it was the lentils. You know, bought £300 worth of lentils.
The chicken and the lamb, I'd say. Chicken and lamb.
Then he was cooking it for 3 days.
Is it like a famous lamb or something? Like a celebrity lamb? Being on the telly and that.
It was a good bit of lamb.
This lamb was in Babe, right?
Yeah, we have
Sci-Fi says, so views on UHT long life milk. Well, I'll take it over any red milk or fucking oat milk or anything. I'll tolerate it. You get them the little sachets, the little cups that you peel the little lid off. I can live with them. I wouldn't choose them, but I can go with it.
In my little bathroom for just in case.
Yeah, they're all right. I don't mind them.
Yeah. At work, they've got a fridge and it's free milk. Right, the work tops up the milk, so it's great for and to be fair, tea bags and that. And I think the tea bags, I'm sure I saw them fill up with Yorkshire decaf tea bags, which is an affront. But I'm sure the normal tea bags are just...
Well, that's not going to increase productivity, is it? You need to keep your tea caffeinated at all times.
A double bag. I think the tea bags, the normal ones are tetly, so a double bag. I put 2 bags in, but the milk is UHT, and it's in cartons, and they do green and red. So red UHT milk.
That's just an abomination.
You open a new box, you get a new carton, and you open it, it goes... yeah, like the soul's escaping. It's like cows just crying. You squeeze my titties for this. It's horrible.
Yeah. Yeah, you taste it and just all joy and lust for life just exits your body. Yeah, horrendous.
Actually, there is a powdered milk called Marvel milk that actually... I'm not even I'm fussy. I like gold top.
We
milk
hadn't noticed, which are fucking Jersey milk. Fuck off.
I'll tell you what though, right? Yeah, this Marvel milk powdered stuff. I've used it when I've gone camping, and it doesn't clump and it doesn't float in the top. It dissolves in really well, and it's actually you kind of don't notice when you're drinking from a flask and you're fucking roughing it anyway.
That's because you're stirring cocaine into your brew, mate. That's what you're doing.
Is that not what they used to drink during the war?
I really like the tea.
Marvel milk.
I think that was like a war ration and that. The old Marvel stuff has been on for donkey's years. But yeah,
I'm quite partial to coffee, mate. A spoonful of that stirred into your coffee. Oh,
you can't have it with tea though.
No, I tried it once. It just doesn't work, does it? It doesn't work.
Yeah, because it's made. What's it made of? Coffee Mate's got hickory, isn't it, or something like that in it? Coffee Mate.
I don't know. It's got sort of a vanilla-y kind of taste to it as well, isn't it? It's got
yeah.
It makes it very. It sort of thickens it. It's sort of like a thickener. It gives you a real. When you add a spoonful of that in with your brew, it does
Google it.
Enhance the coffee somewhat.
Ingredient.
It's made of corn flour and ice and sugar.
Corn flour. Yeah, I could believe that.
Probably not.
It probably is. Probably something like that.
Brew, so.
Yeah. But yeah, you put. I tried a spoonful of it in tea before, and I'm like, that doesn't work. That's fucked that brew. But it is right. Everyone's got their own way, whether it be coffee or tea or whatever. You like it a certain way, and like the way you make it, the quantities of everything is important. But I find with coffee, so many people get it wrong. There's like too much water, not enough coffee, not enough sugar, not enough milk. Just like wishy-washy, watery, horrible. Or in a cup that's too big, so then all the ratios are off. If you've got a bigger cup, you need a bigger spoon. Because now you're just a big watery, weak.
No good having a ramshackle coffee.
Right for the bigger sugars.
Go on a ramshackle coffee. Great way to bring us back on topic, Dread. We haven't been on topic for about the last 45 minutes.
I was just thinking the parallels of like it was so like everyone does it differently, and I was like it's much like the Orcs and for a ramshackle.
Speaking of ramshackle, I've been thinking a little bit because we've it's public knowledge at this point, isn't it? At the next Warboss meet, we're going to be Gorkamorka-ing it up. So I quite like the idea of knocking some buggies together. Both for Gorkamorka purposes and for just use in my army because it'd be fun, I think, and quite a nice little simple kit bash build. I think I've got enough stuff in my bits box to knock up a couple of buggies. I think that'd be quite a fun project. I think.
I found one that I can use for diggers actually that I've got. That is like it's like a little ramshackle car sort of thing. Where's it gone?
I think Gene Stealer Colt's got quite a lot of cool stuff for diggers. They got like the ATVs, like the quad bikes and that, haven't they? They got some cool stuff. And a lot of the Necromunda stuff that's coming out now is really good for diggers. I think there's if you're into diggers, I think now's with a lot of these skirmish games and things out now, and a lot of these third parties creating these sort of post-apocalyptic sort of things. There's so much good stuff out there for diggers now.
Find it. The pigment fixture I was looking for earlier. I could have carried on. There it is. Well, I will use it because I've put some rust pigments all over that rust pile. So graphic pile. We'll get to it.
Heath Gross says his wife likes coffee, mate. BC, in the States, the dairy industry is pushing almond milk makers to produce their product nut milk or nut juice. It's funny you say there's some of that on my curtains. I don't know how it got there.
That's a stay on target if ever I bleed in here.
Stay on target.
Nut milk.
Oh, it's great. It's great to be back, guys. Great to be back. So, Sid, talking about plans for the future. I don't know if you've forgotten it, but a while back you mentioned the possibility of doing a drunken orc tour across this beautiful country of ours, and is that still something that you?
It is, and you know what? Now would actually be a perfect time to do it. Obviously, with zero planning, so it's not going to happen. But I just happen to have 2 weeks off work. But I need to sort something out. Where
well, it's a bit short notice, mate. I mean, if the sofa's going to accommodate you.
This is it. We said to the business, "Oh well, you know, I had 2 weeks off. I'm just going to nap off." I'll be back when I'm back. Don't check the bank balances.
Yeah, but the real heartbreaking part of that is when she goes, "Yeah, fine, whatever."
Yeah. We'll stay there. But yeah, I do fancy doing that.
Can't you ask your dad? He's been gone for a week, Mum. Oh, I thought he was in his hobby room.
Really?
But I want to try and sort of organise it around something as well, because a lot of the games I want to get in with people would just be sort of, this Tuesday in whatever, however many months' time, are you free? Yeah, our champion will do it. But if there's something on, just to focus it around, like an event, that might be quite cool as well. But I'll have to get it done. I've been wanting to do it for a while.
Yeah, it would make a cool video. I think if you did a little bit of vlogging as you went around the various places and stuff, you could it would make some cool content, and it would be a great experience for you as well, because it is cool going and playing new people and people and just people you don't see for a long time, and that it's exactly. It's cool.
You're not talking to myself in the car as well.
Yeah.
I do it anyway, but I mean filming it as well.
It could be worse. You could have me with you.
No doubt I'd make time to pop round Oldroyd.
Well, down this end, mate, you'd be
the beacon. Finally.
Yeah, you can sort of get if you're down with the southern team, you haven't got too far to go in any direction for the three of us. We're not a huge distance apart. And I mean, only 20 minutes up the road from me, you could go and take on the Necrons.
Oh, is it that close?
Yeah, he's only a short drive away. He's only in Portsmouth way.
I have to start getting some planning in and trying to reach out to a few people and seeing if they fancy it. Oh dear. It's just one of those things. It's like look, like I say, I've got 2 weeks off now, which I booked just for family holiday, and booked it when the band's still at school. So
that's smart thinking. That is.
And then I thought, I've made a mistake there. I'll cancel that. And a year and a bit rolled past, and then it turned up, and I'm like, yeah, I'm not cancelling that one.
Proper holiday then.
Clint's in the chat there saying, I'll see you next Monday then. I tell you what, if anybody fancies a trip down to Warhammer World, or up, as it would be, then I'm up for that.
That's some fucking mission.
Yeah, to be fair.
So it's all right for a poor Sid to drive the length of the country, but to meet you, up in Warhammer.
Hey, we've driven the length of the country twice now.
Bollocks to that.
Not quite, but
bollocks to yours.
Long old way.
When is it, Sid? I'll fucking fly in. Fuck them, the bastards. Lazy, good for nothing. Too far to drive.
Yeah, you got to do is sit on a plane, having all your drinks brought to you, and living the life of luxury in your private jet.
I mean, things aren't as bad here as the UK, but they're not that fucking good. Jesus.
I'll have to sort out some cheap digs as well, because if it's all quite sort of, I probably couldn't do multiple nights. Well, how much are the cheap hotels?
What, like
vary.
Premier Inns and stuff?
Yeah.
They vary. You just got to look on the site. They different locations have different, more in the cities. Like they go up.
Depends on the dates, if there's an event on and stuff like that.
Yeah, big time.
That makes a big difference. Like
in my town, like as a Saturday night, it'd be like 60, 70 quid. When on a Sunday night, it'd be 30 quid. It's just like depends on what night it is.
Hang on. Clint's saying I'll meet you there next Monday, mate. I tell you what, Clint, don't fucking toy with us. If you fancy a trip there next Monday, pop us a message, slide into them DMs.
Hey, now that's a video I'd watch. The Odd Boys in Warhammer World.
Oh, pick me up,
You can pick Dread up on the way. Tell you what, yeah.
I would meet you at your house, Clint, but I haven't the fuel. Unless I can catapult you.
Let's sort this out off air.
Yeah.
There's no more boring than watching people sort things out. I know, because I had a dream about it, and what happened in my dream was
we were in Warhammer World, but it wasn't Warhammer World. It was my nan's kitchen.
It looked just like wow.
She was sat on a golden throne, nearly dead. To be fair, it's pretty much Tuesday for her. Rock Lobster said, "Now, wish my drives were as short as UK drives. Melbourne to Sydney is 10 hours. Yeah, we do tend to twist about the shortest fucking drives. I remember saying to somebody I was going to see Dim, but mind, it's 40 minutes away. It turns out it's not quite that. But, 40 minutes.
Our roads are somewhat different, though, to sort of stateside and I would imagine in Aussie. We don't get a huge amount of space.
Essex was telling you to jog on. That's like an 8-hour round trip instead of 2 hours.
Tell me about it.
And that's not including driving the wrong way over the bridge twice, you know.
To be fair,
well, this time we didn't get lost, but I did drive off without paying for my diesel.
Oh, that's right.
And then
yeah.
Got a Crime Watch picture posted to me.
That's right. Yeah, we were having great crack with that in the WhatsApp group as well. I remember. Yeah.
Didn't you get a Crime Stoppers photo out of it?
Yeah, I think Dread's editing skills went to work.
Yeah, but I outshone him though. You know what I mean? He did a.
We're both thinking the same way. Exactly
quick up! You rushed it. I went into a bit more detail, but yeah.
It was only after I dropped Dread home, and I was setting off for the next few hours journey. I thought, right, on the way back, I'm going to get myself a takeaway of that. And I was thinking, should I pay card or cash? How much have I got in the bank and that? And I'm thinking, I've still got that in my wallet. And I'm like, how much did the pet diesel cost? Oh, you dickhead. You haven't paid for the fucking diesel. But all right. Don't even remember what petrol station it was. I know it was on the fucking M3, was it? I can't remember what fucking motorway it was on.
What I found odd about that though is like you went to the toilet. They could have got a picture of you like coming out of the restrooms, like through the main bit through the doors, smiling. You know, because I'm sure you was at some stage.
That wouldn't prove anything, would it?
In like, you know, from above your head with your cap sort of down as you're getting in the door, you look shifty as fuck.
Yeah, but that's what they always go for, man. When you ever seen like mugshots or you know, the newspapers making someone look like a bad guy, it's never when he's all like jolly and shaking a kid's hand. It's always when he looks like, you know, he's up to mischief. It's like,
That's the most miserable.
The picture is of me filling up the van. So I mean, you know, if it's a picture of you coming out of a shitter, it's like, well, no, I didn't get any petrol. Prove it.
Oh, shit.
Yeah.
I didn't buy any crisps. Those tellers fucking paid customers only.
But yeah, I didn't know what the protocol was, what you had to do. I'm trying to Google the name of this bloody petrol station, ringing them, they're not answering. Then eventually I get through and I said, I think I paid off. I went without any
Red found it for you though, didn't he? Right, yeah.
Yeah, he did, yeah.
So what did they say when you got in touch with him in the end?
Well, originally I said, look, I paid it. He said, how long ago? I said, well, this long. I said, I've got my card with me, so I can pay for it now, you know. He said, oh, sorry. He said, if it's been over an hour, we just report it to the police. It's an automatic system. Right.
That's rubbish,
Brilliant.
man. That's
And I'm like,
shocking.
so what do I do then? Are they just going to come and knock on my door or what? Basically, then they hand over to like a debt collection agency thing, which you log in like a number, a code, and then it comes up with that picture of me and the information. Then you got to pay it, and there's an extra charge for being naughty. So I think
25%, isn't it?
I think it was like just a flat 15 quid charge on top of it. So it wasn't too bad actually. 15 quid lighter for being so bloody stupid. But I was knackered. I'd had about 2 hours sleep the night before and been on the road for a fucking long time, and Dread had been talking me ear off for.
Jesus, that would wear anyone down. Anyone I get you now, you know what I mean? Fucking. So what you're saying is Dread should be paying for that one.
Yeah, and every few minutes Dread's telling me, every time the sat nav says 10 miles, take this turn, Dread's like, no, what you want to do is, and I'm like, what I want to do is, Dread, is just follow this sat nav and not think, so don't even try get me on them fucking back roads. It's not happening.
Fucking Jesus Christ.
That's actually true.
I'm like, my brain isn't working, I'm just on autopilot here. That little picture on that sat nav is going to tell me where to go, and I'm just going to follow it blindly.
Yeah. I can't remember who it was, but as soon as I spoke to someone, I was like, yeah, that muggy fucking went the fucking motorway way, didn't he? Fucking adding on time, Jesus.
Oh, it's great, man. When you're on a long journey like that, it goes, take this turn in. You turn on the motorway, it goes, stay on this road for 70 miles. You're like, yes. Oh, I can just cruise now. No thinking, no stressing, just cruise. I don't know where the fuck that bit goes. Right, let's try something else. Do that bit.
Tweezers, because I've got another hair.
Presume it just slots in.
Excuse me more.
I suppose we could actually go desk down. Hold on. You start a fucking. Doo-doo. Nope.
How does the fucking squig's head go in the body? Oh, is there a little... I see. That's a good job I checked that. I was just about to glue the two halves of this princess's body together. You've got to put the head in first. There we go.
Oh, this is the squig, isn't it?
Yeah. He's like kickstand for his gun. Yeah. It's a cool looking squig as well, actually. I think it's quite cool. The way his foot's like resting on his back. Yeah. It's pretty badass. It's a pretty badass pose, actually. Quite like it.
I saw a really cool, squig drawn chariot with him in. And he had, instead of the squig, his foot on the squig, it was like on the foot plate.
Nice.
The chariot, he sort of like got a foot up leaning back and then replaced, I think it was the gun with a big sort of chopper or something.
Cool.
Yeah, that's nice.
Yeah, he's definitely got some potential for some kit bashing goodness. That's for sure. There's a good basis for a cool looking warboss of your own making.
Is he supposed to be in a big armored suit though, or is that later on?
In the first book, he gets the Centurion armor. And he takes the arms off because the arms are a bit small. I say he does it. He gets a mech to do it. But then by the second one, he's been knobbing for too long, and he's a bit bigger, and he's grown out of the armor, and the armor's just like hanging up, and he's fucking hut or somewhere. I don't know. No, he's hut, but he doesn't wear it anymore. He's grown out of it. So I think that's where they basically slipped it. They never mentioned him wearing a cape, mind.
That was just sort of artist discretion on the sculptor's half then?
I don't know. I don't know what came first, the big dagger or the model. You know what I mean? Like if they've designed it after the book was written, if not published, or if it was the other way around. I don't know. But it does sort of tally. It does marry up with it. But it's just some of the weapons in it as well. Not too. I mean, he's got a shock rifle off a shock jump dragster, and he's got the big
Snaz hammer.
But there's a mech load in it as well. That's got a I forget what they call it. It's like a shock hammer. Basically, it hits you and teleports a chunk of you off.
Quality.
Oh, okay.
Using the teleport technology and stuff. So
that's cool.
There was
possible in heat, and like
that's wicked.
Half of the head disappears off in the wall somewhere. And like,
that's fucking astounding.
There was in the Speedwa they did something like that. In the Red War, there was a campaign where they had mines that did that. So as the knights would come along, if it stood on the mine, its leg would just whoop, and then it would just fall over.
The way I describe it, it's got all sort of whirly heads and that on this hammer. So it's just, I was like, fucking hell, that's quite cool, that.
Sounds like great.
Just attaching the cape now, actually. It's quite a cool looking cape. He's got some great details on him. I like the way he's got like a Dark Elder warrior's head on like a pendant around a chain.
They are the main sort of protagonists, if you like, for the big Daka, Drakari. They're all knocking about.
I'm just figuring out what bits to glue on now, because there's some bits here I'm like, oh, that is going to make that bit a bitch to paint. He's got all his cabling coming down from his gun, which looks really cool, but then it's like right over the top of his hand and the gun and part of his leg. I'm like, oh, that's going to make that a bitch to paint. Might have to leave that bit off.
Keith Gross is asking if anyone's got the squig from AOS that's got the anvil on its head. You know, I don't know what he's called, but there's a Ork with the hammer, and I think he's got a big sort of choppery looking thing.
Yeah, he's like the smith, sort of war smith or something, isn't he? Yeah.
There's a little Elvis squig with a little bit of a rock sort of quid.
Yeah. No, I haven't got it.
I was looking at it the other day, actually thinking you could probably do something with that.
Mm.
I'm trying to find a AOS Ork unit that uses mega knobs. It's some sort of like feral, you know.
Oh yeah.
You
got quite a bit of choice there, haven't you?
There is quite a bit. You've got the brutes and that, I suppose.
Yeah.
But I quite like the look of the wreckers.
Yeah, I do.
The new ones, but I was trying to gauge. Like I had them both opening two windows, mega knobs and wreckers. Looked like thinking, well, the base is all the same size, so are they about the same size as GW mega knobs?
I like the look of wreckers for Beast Boss on foot. I think they'd make a really good basis for a Beast Snagger boss on foot. They got that just really savage kind of like brutal look to them, haven't they?
Yeah, I did get the because for me sins, I did sign up the Warhammer Plus on the first year it was out, and you got one of two free minis. It was like the assassin and the statue Eid thing, or the Ork, and I got the Age of Sigma Ork, and I've done him up as 40k. If that's a coherent sentence. Well.
Oh yeah, I know the one.
He had a little sort of hand in his head in his hand, so I just cut it off and made a killer claw out of plastic card. And
he's got one he's got the spike titties as well, hasn't
he? Yeah. Oh yeah, and a third spike titty. Scaramanga.
Total Recall, Charlie.
Nice cape. It's made of chains.
Nice.
Goals on the end, and a big old chopper, and obviously Black Ork head.
Yeah, he looks quality, mate.
So I was thinking, but he's a big lad. He is a big lad. But
I did like that. I did like that miniature when I saw that come out as the exclusive like Warhammer TV miniature. It is a cool looking mini.
Yeah, and you just stick a slugger on his belt. You know, one of the knob ones, the big revolvery type ones, and the big holsters.
Mm-hmm.
With that lovely stitching. I love that stitching.
Yeah.
Beautiful stitching. Put him there.
I like the one I really like is the pistol that comes in the flash kits.
Is that the one he's?
Yeah, and he's like, you know, he's got his snaz gun, but he's also firing the pistol, and I really like that one. That's a cracking arm. That I like using that on some of my knobs and that. Like for, yeah, I think I used that one on one of my big mechs actually.
the flashgate chopper with the bionic hand.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. That's what I used. Yeah, that's what I used on my flash.
Even the cigar one.
Yeah, the cigar arm is fucking awesome.
Big stogie on the go. Like,
Yeah.
Some mint bits in the flashgates kit. I like
Yeah, the favourite knob in my army, he's got that cigar arm, and he's got the standard over the shoulder big chopper, but then he's got the big fat body with the belly from for fun minis, and the head and that. He's just and he just looks good. The big chopper slung over the shoulder, smoking his cigar, big old belly hanging out, a beer gut, and I'm like, and he's always going to be my favourite knob in my army. I'm like, he's just spot on.
The big round belly, but they've also got a really thick chain on as well.
Yeah, that's it. He's got the big gold bling chain on. He's got his fucking, dad bod out, rocking it, like the middle of summer in Bognor Beach. And he's got his Terror Planet leg as well. One of his legs is a fucking like Barnet fucking shooter stump leg. Oh, he just looks cool as fuck. He's that bit where whenever you buy your box of your squad of stuff, the first one you build is always your favourite head, your favourite torso, your favourite legs, you build that perfect one first, don't you? It's just like that, all my favourite bits put together to make like the ultimate knob.
Yeah, I've got some of those fat bodies for fun minis. I think I give him the cigar hand as well. Well, he's just got a bionic arm with a knife. And I spent ages doing the tattoos people have with like an old English style sort of writing.
Yeah.
I wrote Goth on his belly.
Yes, I know the one.
Fucking ages. I've got about 4 or 5 pots of paint with like tattoos because I'm sitting there practicing it on paint pots. I always want to paint more tattoos or war paint on them, but I never get round to it. By the time I get to the stage where they're done, and I'll then be doing that, I generally go,
yeah.
You know what I mean?
You've not done it on like your feral stuff, like body paint and
I
war paint.
I meant to, absolutely meant to. I wanted it like in white, just some white sort of, because it contrasts nicely and all that sort of stuff.
Yeah, Urukai style-y.
Yeah, but I never got around to it, mate.
I really like when they've got the white and they put like a skull motif painted crudely onto their face or something. Shit like that looks proper badass. Cool. It looks so cool. But I'd be well scared to do it, especially if you've painted it up real nice. You're like, and now I've just got to paint some like crude war paint on it. Oh, this could go so wrong.
That's I think one of the reasons why I didn't do it. I've done it.
You just end up with Krusty the Clown instead, Going for it, you end up with Krusty.
It's like that thing where you do it and you fucking nail it, and you go, "Oh, I'm much better than I thought I was." What the fuck did I do that? Yes, not good. It's not good. Well, I think we've been doing 2 hours now.
Yeah, I think it's probably time to bring this to a close, isn't it? We stayed on topic for about 10 minutes.
What is Ramshackle?
We don't know.
It's whatever you want it to be.
Yes.
That's pretty much our answer for any topic that asks a question, isn't it? Do what you like.
That is also.
It's pretty much. You don't have to watch any more of our shows. It'll always be our final conclusion. Just, you know what? Do what you want.
Should that just be like our motto for the channel? You know what? Just do what you want.
You know what? Do what you fucking want.
Sure, fucking. You be grand. You be grand. Jesus.
It's right though.
We've tried giving you advice. We've tried educating you. Just fucking do what you fucking want. Go on, do it your way.
Done the best we can.
Don't come crying to me.
Do you know what?
You'll be grand.
You leave your mould lines on your ham, all right? You carry on snorting your fucking Mexican paprika.
BC's just put in the chat. The show, it's Ramshackle.
I mean, he's not wrong.
He's not, is he?
He's more right than even he realizes.
Right, so I managed to get this crocket painted up. It's like green for me tournament colors, and I got like the basin, and I got some grass on it, and then I primed up 3 more mechs for the campaign play. That's what I managed to get done. What else did everybody else do?
I got this far. Only thing I haven't put on yet is his cables and the cape and his head, because I'm still undecided whether I'm going to do a head swap and keep the cape and the cables off for ease of painting. But yeah, he's basically built.
I've got some rust pigments on my tile in places, and I painted some cables. I started painting some cables on a crane. And
it's quite a big tile, isn't it?
Yeah.
I've still got some germaloids left if you want it.
I was just waiting for, like, if Dim was editing this, we'd have a Jeff Goldblum cameo now. That is one big pile of shit.
Yeah, I've done like 2 pair of grot pants and a hat.
Nice. Sweet.
Which is quite amazing because I couldn't find a brush that didn't have 4 prongs on it. Oh, they're there. I was looking down.
Have you literally just found them now?
I put all my good brushes on a shelf and all my shite ones are in a cup, and I've just been rattling through the cup looking for ones that look like, you know, I mean, that's one of them cheap Chinese ones. That's where the brush goes, where's me.
Oh, yeah. I've loaded them in the drawer. I need to sort through my brushes. This is
good. It's good for painting the model that's a few inches, well, a few centimetres, just off to the side.
To the right, yeah.
That way, it's quite good.
Painting diagonally. I love it.
Yeah.
Right, we shall wrap it up with goodbyes. It's don't forget to drill your barrels from Scar.
Said from Dread. I was supposed to
Take care.
And this is 6 Plus Stevo signing out.